Hi everyone, just give me a sec please. As you can imagine, there's a lot going on, so I just need to get my bearings and then we will start. There's just a lot of news coming in all at once, so I'm just trying to gather that before we get started. Just give me a moment, please. Well, it's not the result we were hoping for, but it's the result we have, so let's try to get to the bottom of why. The information that we have at the moment. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe though. Let the algorithm know here, guys. The hate channels are gonna try and spin this all types of ways. You win some, you lose some. Just hoping this will be a win. And not just for Harry, you know, this was so much bigger than Harry. This was so much bigger than... Yeah. This was really about whether or not our justice system recognizes that the press cannot just run wild the way they do. And we've now seen that the so-called justice system just isn't reliable. And what does this teach people in media? What does this teach the likes of Rothermere? The likes of Rupert Murdoch? Well, we managed to defeat Rupert Murdoch. But this does not send a good message, I believe. I think I'm actually most surprised that it's not just Harry, by the way. It's also Elton John, Liz Hurley, and Doreen Lawrence. I think the one I'm actually shocked about is Doreen Lawrence. Here is the judgment. That's the one I'm actually the most shocked about. Because I could see how they could try and spin the celebrity ones, but the Doreen Lawrence's case specifically, that one has shocked me. And I just can't help but feel that there's some dirty dealings have gone on with this. So, breaking: Prince Harry, Elton John, Liz Hurley, Doreen Lawrence and others have lost their High Court battle with the publishers of the Daily Mail and Mail on Sunday. The judgment has been handed down. Now this is the court document. For the reasons explained in the judgment, the claimants failed to prove their pleaded allegations of unlawful information gathering. The court rejected the attempt to prove the claims by broad inference where there remained a legitimate and realistic possible lawful source pathway, or where the article's specific evidence did not prove that the relevant information must have been obtained unlawfully. The court also held that the parties were bound by the cases they had pleaded. It was not permissible at trial to replace a pleaded allegation with a different, and in many instances, more serious allegation of unlawful information gathering. The claims were therefore dismissed. High Court Judge Mr. Justice Nicklin is clear that suspicion of unlawful activity, if not evidence of unlawful activity. The court accepted that given the nature and age of the allegations. The claimant's case is often dependent on inference, but suspicion, even where understandable, was not enough. The claimants had to prove the information complained of had been obtained unlawfully. The court rejected the argument that simply because information was private and because Associated could not positively explain how it would source, the relevant article must have been unlawfully sourced. I think this is the most annoying part about all of this is that, so it's Harry, Elton John, Liz Hurley, Dorian Lawrence, and everybody in these cases, they have to prove that the information was gathered unlawfully, but the other side doesn't have to prove where the information came from. In Harry's case specifically, because I don't know what information about Elton John, Liz Hurley was shared, and what about Dorian Lawrence was shared. But in Harry's case, let's just stick to Harry. If it's the case that the information was gathered lawfully, where was that information taken from then? Who gave the tabloid rats that information? Was it people from within the palace? Now, I don't know what's going to happen in terms of money, because from what I understood, one of the reasons why so many people have not taken it this far is because if you lost, you would have to pay the other side. And a lot of money. So I don't know what's happening, if Harry's going to appeal. Again, this is breaking news. It would appear that Harry's actually just gone straight to... There's like an Invictus event going on, and he's just gone straight to that. I'll post the link to the chat if anybody wants to come up and talk. Here you go. Anybody that wants to come up, you can come and talk. Yes, Mr. September, these people are sick. Listening in from Ohio, thank you for listening in. You said, yeah, he knew that on Thursday. Jeremy Vine gave it away this morning. Abby Rosemary said, so the British courts have been pressured to do this, just that the family is pure evil. Yeah. This just sets such a bad example. Sorry, if I pause, it's because I'm looking at Twitter. I just want to see if anything else comes up. I'm sure when we come back tomorrow, I'll do another podcast tomorrow. And I'm sure somebody else will do a more detailed breakdown of the summary judgment, because I'm sure there's more in the court documents. Oh my gosh. Somebody just posted on Twitter, decision. Wait, hang on a sec. Some BBC guy posted, decision by palace not to house Harry totally vindicated. How? Harry was suing the press, not his father or father's government. This is why I think that part of this judgment, especially when it comes to Harry, has to do with the fact that the palace was leaking. And that's how some of the information got leaked to them. By the way, while all this is going on, Nigel Farage, this idiot that needs to disappear, this pimple on the face of British politics, he's also resigned as MP. Good riddance. That's our potential Mr. Trump gone. Okay, Hacktoff just posted something. Okay, so this is what Hacktoff, which is the organization that has been challenging the press for a very long time. and also what's his name? Hugh Grant, who was phone hacked, British actor, is also part of this group Hacked Off. So they have said, Hacked Off comment on Daily Mail case. Today's judgment finds that in respect of the small number of articles which form the basis of claims against the Mail's publisher A&L, the claimants had not done enough to prove that unlawful means were relied upon to source the stories. The fact that the articles were deeply intrusive and in some cases sexist and homophobic was not in dispute in the case. Commenting, Hacked Off board director and victim of phone hacking Jacqui Haim said, the stories and conduct which formed the basis for the claims against the Mail were devastatingly intrusive and included medical details, information about children, and other deeply invasive behavior and coverage. Before I continue, this also reveals something else to me. How then, as a society, or how then does the law protect people's privacy? Because if the articles in question were deeply intrusive, well, isn't that an invasion of privacy? Couldn't the Daily Mail and these publications be sued for that? There's really a lot to unpack here. Fatimata, I see you there, hon. I'll let you in a sec. Let me just finish reading this. The courts are not the appropriate vehicle for investigating the allegations of wrongdoing against the Mail in their fullness, and the judgment was clear in stating that, focusing on a handful of individual articles, the court had not made findings on whether illegality was widespread in the Mail. Now only a public inquiry can get to the bottom of what really happened. Leveson Part 2 must proceed without further delay. Well, there were calls for Leveson 2, and what happened? Let me look for it now. Keir Starmer's government decided no. And pretty much every government before him, from Cameron's government, decided no. We were expecting better from Labour. We didn't get that. What these politicians have to what they have to realize is, it doesn't matter whether you're Labour, it doesn't matter whether you're Conservative. They want to control you. You are going to lose either way. So somebody just needs to take the hit, because this is insane. How is it that the likes of, Murdoch's influence is starting to wane, but Associated Papers, the Daily Mail, the most influential paper in the UK, almost 100 million hits online. They're even influential overseas. 100 million hits every month. Sorry, that's how much traffic the Daily Mail gets. Granted, they have had quite a few redundancies. Their print is definitely failing, but print in general is failing. Maybe the tide will turn. Anyway, Harry seems to be taking everything in his step. He was at Missan Hariam's movie premiere. Let me just read this before I bring Fatimata up. Hang on one sec. What am I looking at? Oh, there's just so much news coming through. Be patient with me, folks. Where are we now? Yes, so this is last night. Harry attended the UK premiere of Shoot the People at Picture House Central in London, supporting his close friend, acclaimed British Nigerian photographer, and to shoot a cover for British Vogue and Oscar-nominated filmmaker Missan Hariman. Directed by BAFTA winner Andy Mundy Castle, the 96-minute documentary offers an intimate look at the life, of work, and political growth of acclaimed British Nigerian photographer and activist. Filmed across London, Los Angeles, South Africa, and Minneapolis, it combines striking frontline photography with candid conversations on protests and justice, exploring the global fight for civil rights, equality, LGBTQ rights, through the stories of grassroots movements and voices, including Martin Luther King III. Prince Harry's appearance reflects his long-standing friendship with Harriman, who has photographed several milestones for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Following its July 6th premiere, Shoot the People opens in UK cinemas July 11th. That's in UK cinemas on July 11th. Please go and support Missan. Great work. Okay, Fatimata, say whatever it is you want to say. Just don't swear, please. Seriously, don't swear. Otherwise, I'll be demonetized.
Oh, no, I won't. It's a a bad thing. I'm at home. The children at home. If I do that, they will go. You cannot tell us to swear, not to swear now. That gentleman that you read the Twitter post, he's a former Sun editor who said
Uh,
that they're vindicated for. If it's the same person, I think they're saying that the palace is vindicated for not.
he doesn't have Sun editor in his bio. He has BBC, but I don't know. Maybe he was a Sun editor. He works in the
Oh,
UK press.
oh, he worked there. I think maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering because the laws is different from the United States here regarding to this suing somebody. I think that's why Hugh Grant didn't want to go through when they offer him
Mm,
settlement because he was explained that if they offer him a settlement and he refuses it and then go through
mm,
with the case and
mm-hmm.
he loses, he will have to pay not only his legal fee, he will have to pay the defendant legal
Other
fee.
side. Yeah.
So he decided to take the big chunk of money. I think most of it was donated to that hacked up the organization.
Mm,
So right now, what I'm worried about is if I know now they have to pay the legal fee. Not all of them is wealthy as Sir Elton John and Prince Harry. I'm
mm.
just worried that maybe the judge will also say for the claimant to pay for the legal fee for the defendant. Now imagine somebody abusing you that much and then have you having to pay for their bills too,
For their bills.
trying to
Yeah.
defend yourself. It's like a double blow.
Mm.
I'm thinking about the woman. It's Doreen.
Lauren Lawrence. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think she have a lot of money to pay these things. I'm just a little worried about the monetary side of it. I know. I don't
Mm.
think they will offer any type of the settlement. So I don't know if you're ever settlement and then you don't take it and then you lose, you have to pay, or since this time there were no settlement offer, maybe they would just have to pay the legal fee and then the defendant will pay their own legal fee. I don't know if I make
Mm.
sense. I'm worried about the
Yeah,
money
yeah,
side
yeah.
of it now.
No, no,
But for the
you're right.
rest,
That was one of the worries.
yeah.
I
And
mean,
now,
I feel like for I mean, listen, Harry, Elton John, Liz Hurley, they're all enormously wealthy. So and Doreen Lawrence, I actually think she's being represented by like a state official or something.
mhm.
So I don't really know what's gonna because her case was it was a little bit different from the celebrity cases because this involved like Melly's. So
Mhm.
I don't know if she's subject to like the same kind of like financials as the celebrity. I'll actually look into this
To
because
be,
she did, but no, go
sorry.
on.
Oh no, no, no! I was just said that's the only thing I'm sorry about because what this case was able to do is not going to be reported because they all held hand up there, and the journalists they're always going to hold the hand between them, even if they're rival. If somebody attack one, they will go help that one, even if they're rival. They always hold hand at the
Mm,
end. They all the Sun and the Mirror, they all gonna help the Daily Mail celebrate blah 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 because he sued them and they won. They're still angry about that. But other than that, he was able to show many things, and they also, on a personal level, I don't know how he's feeling, but I would feel good because not many people had the I don't want to say a bad word to stand up to these people, and he did, especially his family. They always
yeah.
sue them sometimes, and they take any type of settlement just to say, okay, we sue them, this we settle, just to
Mm,
show a little bit courage, and they always back up at the end. He was the first person to go all the way, and he stood up for his principle all the way along. He got the apology from for his mother. Some of the newspaper did admit that they did something wrong, and somebody was saying on Twitter that this judge this time have a history of siding with
yeah.
newspapers.
Yeah.
They it's a pattern for him. I don't know if it's true or
Mm,
not. They say that he always find a way to side with the newspapers. It's almost like they have something on him. It might not be true. It's Twitter. You never know. But it has been the pattern.
It's quite interesting. So somebody's just posted because I wasn't aware of what it was that they had on Liz Hurley and Sadie Frost, but apparently it was information about Liz Hurley's pregnancy and Sadie Frost's termination. So how would you get access without their medical records? So they must
It's
have,
impossible.
yeah. I mean, they must.
It's impossible.
If you, I think the unfortunate thing about this is that if if perhaps the case had come forward sooner or at the time of the breach of information, maybe they could have got them for like breach of medical records, or if they had known, because I think at the time the assumption was that it was like friends and family leaking or something like that.
For that, it has to be the partner for it to be legal. It has to be the baby daddy to leak that, because he'll be part of ownership to that to be legal. Any other person will be illegal, I think. I'm blabbing about law. I don't know anything about law. I've been reading so many cases regarding Pensar for the last 6 years. It's terrible. I, I,
Okay,
I
I'm
don't know.
gonna let Mina come up. Thank you, Fatimata. I'll let you come back up
Okay.
in a sec. But before I actually let Mina come up, I just want to show you this if you haven't already seen it. This would explain why Charles today, I had to double, quadruple check that this absolute nonsense was not AI. Oh, where is it now? Oh, don't tell me it didn't load. Don't. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back into my pictures. One sec. Charles. Oh no. Give me one moment, folks. Okay, I'll get the cover. I had more photos, but this photo of Charles that you see, that is Charles in an army tanker. I'm not kidding. Yesterday. Rolling around in an army tanker. Full on. It was actually going around in circles. I just know that there's some idiot in the palace, one of these courtiers, maybe it was Simon Case's idea. We know what nonsense Simon Case likes to come up with, who was like, oh, do you know what we should do to show your power and might, sir? Show that you are the commander-in-chief, sir. Put him in an army tanker and have him rolling around like this. I had to do a double take it was not AI. By the way, Harry's best friend with Dan when he was in an army tanker. Just so you know. This man is incredibly jealous of his son. Mina?
Oh. Hey, Anne, how are you?
Hey, I'm bleh. That's why I am.
I am too. Oh Lord, I'm gonna do my best not to cuss. Sad to say, I had a feeling that this was gonna happen. I was hoping that they would at least win. At least they had the guts to stand up to these to the Daily Fail and stand their ground. I just hate that each of them lost their cases, which is sad and so crazy. And I agree with what the previous speaker was saying. That judge got to be blackmailed or something. Because how in the world you just let a whole, not one, not two, not three, but everybody involved lose?
Yeah.
Like, that's just insane to me. Like, yeah, you got to be either involved or one of those British tabloid people is blackmailing you. You can't tell me no different.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. But just so y'all know, don't feel too disappointed right now. Right as we're speaking, Harry is at an Invictus event and he's been given a speech.
Yeah,
and he's just getting on. He's just getting on with it. No, go on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I had saw a little bit of it. Um, it's pretty good so far, so good. I had to leave out of here so I can come on here and say my piece. But yeah, again, the claimants were well, wait, Harry and the rest of them, they're the claimants, right?
Hmm.
I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah, I was gonna say that at least I'm happy for them that they were stand up to the British tabloids and speak their piece and get their cases heard, even though sad to say they lost. But I'm gonna just be positive about it and like at least they had the courage to do so, to stand
Yeah.
up for themselves and at least try to get justice on their behalf.
Yeah, but yeah, they tried, and you know, it's not like I've said, it's not just about them. It's about the wider issue, and this would have actually been a victory for the British people. By the way, before you continue, Mina, Kate Burley, former Sky News, I consider her a bit of a tabloid rat. She has just posted. Imagine if there'd been a photo of him heading back to the palace. More likely the reason his dad didn't let him stay in the spare room. And so, yeah, one of them spare room, like Buckingham Palace, doesn't have what, 300 plus? And somebody responded to that saying, "So you mean to tell me that the king was made aware of the judgment? How does that not compromise him? You're the worst, Kay. You don't even realize what you're saying." Exactly. Exactly. Because they know that, um, they know that the royals are in bed with the tabloids. They know this. Sorry, Mina, carry on.
No, that's okay. And yeah, I agree with what you're saying because there ain't no way you either working with them or they got some dirt on you, which to me, if you ask me, I think it's both.
Mm,
Again, I hate that everybody involved in the case lost, but I am glad that they were at least able to go to court or at least try to win and get their cases heard. Uh, could they redo like a retrial or no?
I don't know. They might try to appeal. Who knows?
Mm,
But I
okay.
mean, the case has gone on for so long now. We'll see if they are going to appeal. I guess we'll find out. Um. I've just. Thank you so much, Mina. I've just seen.
You're welcome.
This is a. Thank you. This is a full. Okay, I'm not a legal expert, so we can try and help each other out. Or I can copy and paste this into ChatGPT. But actually, do you know what? I might actually do that. I'm going to read out. This is the entire summary. It's 2 pages. So I'll read out parts. Let's see. This is parts 1 to 6, and I'll put it in ChatGPT. So it's parts 1 to 6, and then parts 7 to 15. I'll read it, and then I'll put it in ChatGPT and see if ChatGPT can help us decipher some of the legal jargon. Just give me a sec. Let me just fiddle with this in the background. And then Charles rolling around in an army tanker. What?
Yeah, that was really weird. And so, like, what?
Uh, do you know what? I'm so amused by the trolls in the chat. First and foremost, thank you for coming and adding to my ad revenue. First and foremost. Secondly, the fact that you waited tells me that you know about my podcast and you came here knowing that this judgment was today just so you could come in the chat. Appreciate you being here and making yourself look like a fool. I've deleted one, a Bullocks. Yeah, Bullocks. I'm not surprised that's what you named yourself. Can you please put me the names of the other ones in the chat? Mods, please try and look, and they've all got like ridiculous names as well. Are the trolls William and Kate? I bet they're at home. Because it's not like William and Kate work. So I bet it's like William and Kate, or maybe it's James Middleton. Or maybe it's the courtiers. They were sitting and waiting for my podcast. Okay. Let me open this and then we'll have a read. But I'll put it in. Oh, so much coming through. Okay, I'll put this in ChatGPT. Help me summarize this legal jargon. Help me summarize this legal jargon in a more simple way. Okay, while ChatGPT is doing that, I will actually just read it. So, it says, so various claimants versus Associated Newspapers Limited, Mr. Justice Nicklin. So number one, the court has today handed down judgment following the trial of claims brought by 7 claimants against Associated Newspapers Limited, the publisher of the Daily Fail, and Sunday and Fail Online. The 46-day trial of the action took place between 19th of January and 31st of March 2026. The claimants are Baroness Lawrence, Clarendon OBE, Elizabeth Hurley, Sir Elton John, David Furnish. Elton John is a CBE, by the way, and Baroness Lawrence is an OBE. I'd be giving those honours back because this is definitely a stitch up to me. And we know the royals are in bed with these tabloids. Sir Simon Hughes, Prince Harry the Duke of Sussex, and Sadie Frost-Law. The claims alleged misuse of private information and or breach of confidence arising from alleged unlawful information gathering. The alleged methods included the use of private investigators, blagging, obtaining information by deception, phone hacking, or corrupt payments. The claimants allege that once obtained, Associated used this information to publish articles in the newspapers and online. Associated denied all wrongdoing. In the alternative, it argued that the claims had not been too late. Now, this is Associated Newspapers. It's not MGN. So this is not Murdoch's group. But Murdoch's group, we know that they deleted upwards of 30 million emails. What innocent person deletes 30 million emails? Would it be too much of a stretch to say that the Daily Fail were also doing that? I don't think it would. They were all playing dirty games. So the parties and backgrounds are set out in Articles 2 and 4. The trial required the court to decide whether claimants had proved the particular articles or incidents were the result of unlawful information gathering. So the court emphasized that it was for the claimants to prove unlawful information gathering. And that, I think, is actually part of the problem. So it was for the claimants to prove unlawful information gathering, but the other side didn't have to prove that they didn't actually have to prove that they got it lawfully or where they got it from exactly. And that's why the bar for them was so low. That's why, wasn't it, who was it? Was it Emily Andrews or Roy Anika? One of them who was like, oh, I was able to get the information because I was at the same parties that Harry was, or something like that. The claimants had to prove it was more likely than not because the allegations were so serious, weak, or vague. Evidence will not be enough. The court accepted that, given the nature and age of the allegations, the claimant's cases often depended on inference. Okay, I read that out at the beginning. In earlier case management decisions, and again at trial, the court made clear that these proceedings were civil claims brought by individual claimants. They were not a public inquiry into the conduct of Associated generally. The court therefore controlled the scope of the claimant's general case about Associated conduct and required the trial to focus on the pleaded issues and on particular articles and incidences relied upon by the claimants. In broad terms, Associated called journalist witnesses who gave lawful explanations for the sourcing of the disputed articles and incidences. The court accepted their evidence, including the denials of unlawful information gathering. The court's detailed assessment of the trial witnesses is set out in Appendix 2. Limitation. Associated also argued that even if the claimants had proven their claims, the claims had been brought too late. The alternative defense is known as limitation. Civil claims must be brought within the period laid down by statute. These claims were subject to a 6-year limitation period. The claimants relied on an exception to that rule. They argued that the facts relevant to their claims had been deliberately concealed by Associated, and that time should therefore run from when they were discovered, or could with reasonable diligence have discovered those facts. Because the claims were dismissed on their merits, it was not necessary for the court to decide Associated's limitation defense in relation to most of the claims. The court explained that where the alleged unlawful information gathering had not been proved, and the way in which it was said to have occurred remained undefined, it would not be appropriate to invent a hypothetical version of facts in order to decide whether such a hypothetical claim would have been too late. The court did decide the limitation issue in respect of certain specific claims brought by Sir Simon Hughes and Sadie Frost Law concerning the Miss Squee Anderson emails. The court held that those claims would, in any event, have been time barred. Okay, I don't know what that's about. All around, just an absolute shame. It's because the private investigator rescinded his statement. Oh, is that the weird one that was calling Harry his friend? The court was paid off. Yeah, this is why William was selling off land. Yeah, the royal family were the source. You can't think of any other explanation, can you? Fatimata or Mina, did you want to say anything or go back and forth? Feel free.
Oh, well, I'm just sad that Prince Harry, Elton John, and Doreen Lawrence, Liz Hurley, and Sadie Frost, and anybody who was trying to fight this case lost. But again, they did their best, and they at least stood up for themselves and tried to get justice, not just for themselves, but on behalf of their loved ones, especially Doreen Lawrence. I'm very sad for her.
Yeah, devastated for her. She's been literally fighting her whole life.
Yeah. And as for the judge and the British tabloids, they all can go to hell. I'm gonna just say it like that. I don't wish nobody good at all who was involved in this case, and just let them lose. I'm sorry. I'm tired, and I'm just highly upset.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before I go, I just want to say one thing about Petty Charles. You look so stupid and ridiculous in that tank. Like, who is you fooling? Like, you is just sad. Copping your own son. Ugh, I can't stand him.
Yeah.
Again, thank you for letting me come up and speak. Lord, jump scare.
No worries, hon. No, thank you for Fatimata. I'm actually gonna see Fatimata, you can speak if you want to, but I'm gonna post the link to this live on Twitter and see if anybody else wants to call in. Fatimata, did you want to say anything? Ikabella, you said Prince Harry's only true family is Meghan and the children and the Spencer family and relatives. and the family that he's building in Montecito. Oh, okay, I'm gonna post this. Let me just post this link on Twitter, and then there's just something else that I want to read out as well. There's another story that I had to, but let me just give people a chance if they want to come in this live. Is that my, why can't I find the, what's going on here? What's going on here? Oh, here we go. So you can follow this link. Follow this link to speak on the live. Listen, guys, we've still actually got some things to look forward to. And honestly, like looking at all the pictures of Harry at the Invictus event, it seems like he's just going to get on with it. As Harry and Meghan usually do, to be honest. Hey, good morning, or should the tabloids now print Kate's medical history? The tabloids are safe to do that. So who wins? Exactly. See the way they're opening a can of worms now. I know, Baxter. Did you just hear my cat? He's like, why are you yelling? Why are you yelling, lady? Come here. Come here. Come, sit here. Come, sit. Oh, oh, my cat. Do you know what? He's such a big boy for such a small cat. Oh, you're such a big boy, Basco. Yeah, this is a sad day for accountability. Right, I'm gonna see if anybody else comes into the podcast. But just one other thing that I want to read out regarding Andrew. You know, it's a shame that the same tabloids weren't hacking Andrew. Why weren't they hacking Andrew? Probably because they were clients of Epstein as well. So, one of the defenses that Andrew had when he was interviewed, in that interview where he was exposed, was, oh, he was at some Pizza Express in Woking. This is what he said. Now, Newsnight has learned that Pizza Express held their own inquiry into Andrew's Pizza Express date, that he went to Virginia, that he went to Pizza Express the date Virginia Giuffre says that she was forced to have intercourse with him. It found no evidence to suggest that he had visited and was telling the truth, and also nothing to suggest he was not. Okay. Newsnight made extensive inquiries to see if there's any record of any customer or any staff member seeing him there, or on March 10th, 2001. We found none. I mean, to be honest with you, Andrew looks like any other poorly moisturized, badly aging bloke walking around England. So, I mean, would you remember? I know he's a royal, but like, would you remember? I mean, it's not that I don't know what Andrew looks like, but if I was walking through London and he walked past me, I don't even think I would blink twice. If you go down to Square Mile, he looks like every other bloke there. We submitted freedom of information requests to the Met Police asking if Royal Protection Officers had accompanied Andrew to Pizza Express on that date 25 years ago. They told us confirming or denying that information is held would reveal whether protection had been afforded to a specific individual other than the King and the Prime Minister. That's despite the Met previously referring to Andrew's Royal Protection Officers, including in a press statement in February this year. Lib Dem leader Sir Ed Davey told us, I really can't see how revealing that Andrew had protection 25 years ago would play into the hands of terrorists, as the Met claims. Exactly. Nonsense. Oh, Fatimata, did you want to... Oh, hang on a sec. I think it's because you're not added to the stage. Did you want to speak now? I think you can speak now if you want to. You just have to switch your audio on if you want to speak. Yeah, I think the Sussexes are just going to dust themselves off and move on. How much will Harry have to pay? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Somebody's saying this is the greatest day in the history of the Daily Fail. An embarrassment for Harry, who dragged in good people like Dorian Lawrence. And an end to any hope of Leveson 2. This is exactly the reason why we need Leveson 2. Dorian Lawrence had private information published about her. Leveson 2 is needed. I think if Andy Burnham wants to prove that he has any backbone, he will open it. And we need independent people looking at this. Emerald, you said, I knew that was the result coming from that case, which is why they declined Harry's stay at the palace. This is sickening. Nothing has been learned. No. It said you had a feeling yesterday when the palace took away their offer. I mean, if Harry had won, I don't think that Charles would have wanted in there, because then it was like sticking his nose in at the Daily Fail. I don't think that they ever actually intended on letting Harry stay at the palace. I think they always intended on telling him that he can't stay there. I think it was always intended to humiliate him and Meghan and the kids if they agreed to go to Buckingham Palace. But that was never going to happen without security anyway. But I think they were hoping, oh, well, if at least Harry agrees, we can take away his stay in Buckingham Palace and humiliate him. But I think the whole plan, the whole time, was to humiliate him and take away the offer. All right, Benjamin. I'll see you later, dear. Thank you so much for coming as always. Suzuki, you said time for spare. Yep, spare part 2. Spare part 2. They will have to pay the court costs. Okay. They don't have to pay. But I mean, we're talking lawyers that charge hundreds by the hour. Oh, Fatimata, can you speak now?
Yeah, it keeps dropping me.
No worries.
Oh, so they have to pay it for the other's legal fee?
Yeah, the other side is legal fee. I don't. I will double check if they need to pay anything else, but legal fees for sure.
Oh, usually it's
Yeah.
just that, but they have to pay for the court time and then all of that. It's a lot of money. I heard somebody say on the Twitter that when they were doing the discovery, they said it might have gone like up to 20 million pounds.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money to pay.
It's a lot of money. A lot of money.
There were always this. I think this case was the riskiest.
Yeah.
Many people were saying, many saying that if they were advising him that from long time ago, from the beginning, they would say this is the one he just should have let it go, because it was always a little murky. And most of the time, they said they have the information, but they got it from his family member, to be honest, or his friends. For him, they kept repeating that they have the information, but it was sent to them from a friend or the palace. They did say that in court a lot. So, I feel, to be honest, I feel bad more for the rest of them. Like that woman say she had her medical, I think, had to be her medical. They exposed her medical, and she was suffering one of the trials like a mental health issues, and she had to re-listen all of that again. Yeah, it's bad all around.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's different from the United States. The United States is different. Most of the time, the lawyers, when they take the case, it's like they have to be completely sure they're gonna win before they do this type of things.
mm, yeah. Well, we do have some good news. Uganda, another African country, has joined the Invictus family. Harry
Yeah.
announced that Uganda has joined the Invictus family along with Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
There was this interesting article. Somebody decided to tell the truth and said her absence from Harry's trip to London is a disaster. She could help our aging, threadbare monarchy to survive. So let's stop the demonizing. No, this monarchy does not need to survive anymore. No, let it fall.
It's like when they speak, they are performing. I don't know
Mm,
if you watch that movie. I keep saying that in Twitter today. The Manchurian Candidate, when the person have just to snap their fingers and the adjust in the head, the soldier adjust in their head, they follow now the what we're told to do,
mm,
and they only wake up when they're done the mission. I feel like these commentators have the same step mind. Like say Harry, say Meghan, especially Meghan, and they have to adjust. Okay, I have to be nonsensical and hating mode, and I have to do anything. You see them like in real time throwing stuff. Oh, but she did this.
yeah.
But she said they were racist. But she did that. But she did this. And then whenever somebody, which is very rare, whenever somebody's trying to counteract her, they go, but she did that. But she opened the door and she closed the door and she ate avocado. It's like it's terrible. They're
They
gonna
just
do
come
their
up with
victory.
nonsense.
Yeah, they're gonna do their victory dance for a little
Yeah.
while, and then everybody's gonna move on. I don't think I don't think Prince Ali is going to appeal to this. I think he's done. He said he was done after this.
Yeah.
I hope they don't. I'm just worried about the financial stuff. We don't know how rich Prince Harry is, and he has to rely on his own for the rest of his life, and he has to combat many other people that takes money. Many people wanna harm him and his family, and he needs to be like, I want him to be filthy rich. He's the only person around the world I want like to have endless time of money, because there are so many people against him.
Yeah.
Like he needs it to
Yeah.
protect himself and his
Him and
family
his
and
children.
for his children.
Yeah.
I want him to be the filthiest rich in the world. So I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna listen, but I'm not completely sad, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
they have all of them now will have a second guess if they should attack Harry or not. They might go
Yeah.
for the superficial stuff, but when it comes to serious stuff like hacking him or hacking his children, or even putting pictures of his children on their website, they're gonna think about twice, because they know he's relentless. He's not gonna stop. So this is almost like a fighting back, even when before it starts. They know he's not gonna stop at anything to protect his family. So this is it's a bad that he lost, but he won two previously. I think what they pay him for
Yeah.
that maybe even will be enough to pay for this. I'm not completely sad. He has shown that he is that man. He has shown he has principle. He's ready to fight for this principle. And he has shown that if you come for my family, whether media or whatever you try, I will stop at nothing to fight back. And this newspaper will think twice before they start anything else. They will say the usual stuff. If you're working so hard to tell somebody that convince everybody that that person is dumb, you're not doing a good job. They're probably not as dumb as you think. So they're trying really hard to tell UK that he's bad for living, he's dummy, his wife is not good. She's working hard to make money. How gosh? our Princess Kate is wearing high heels and getting 25 million a year. How lovely! How great! It's just like sometimes like it's like the market did a really good job installing like this obedience in people. Like they're ready to defend them even if it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's
They
very
rather
strange.
have that. It's like okay, she's selling jam, bad. She's making money, bad. She's working to take care of family, bad. But look at the lovely Kate here. She wears high heels. She knows how to wrap her hair. How wonderful. Let's give her 25 million a year. And then when they do that Talia thing, of what Megan wore, I always keep going. But she bought it from her own money.
The money,
Like
yeah,
she working, but like it's her money. She can do that. And they go, oh no no no. She's bad for using her own money buying her own clothes. Look at how beautiful Princess Kate is here. She's skinny, very tall, and she knows how to wear high heels. How wonderful!
yeah.
It's
And
I don't
we're
know.
paying over 100 million for it.
Yes, and how lovely she could never be. I say yes, she would never be. That's why she was kicked out of the royal family. Like that's why they made her life horrible. She didn't know she has to come and pretend to work. The facade have to continue, and she was ruining the facade. She come in, she wanted to work, and
Yeah,
every
wanted to
day,
make an impact. Yeah,
and she was told, no, 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 this is a facade. We have to pretend, and then we get the money, and then people think what we're pretending is true. if
true.
you
Yeah.
make if you make that if you work hard and make an impact, they will know what all the other was doing all these years.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot do that. And that's why these institutions are very very sometimes I go, Prince Harry is really really strong minded. He's really really not afraid, because it's really difficult to go after these institutions. They will crush you. you
Yeah.
have you have to not only be rich, you have to have a very strong mind, and you have to be a very strong individual to do that. I don't think I would live a minute in Megan's life now. Like I
No.
would have dumped the parents long time ago and run away somewhere that nobody can find me.
Mm. So Simone Black, you said, do you guys think that Prince Harry and Meghan will now push back harder against the misinformation that will be published against them? What do you think, Fatimata?
I I I I I don't think they're gonna go as far as criminal anymore. I think the misinformation will continue. If anything, it's awful, but I think the way they attack, for example, Megan, they attack her so much that has become almost like his strength. It's like everybody's
Mm.
waiting. People who hate her are waiting for the bad news, and people who love her are waiting for the bad news. And for some reason, she has become this influence. Look what she's doing for fashion. When she wears something, that label just goes up. And uh, attacking her is terrible, of course. But while they did that, she was able to build something, and she has become a powerful woman. Not because of it, not all of it. Like it's
Yeah.
impossible. They
Yeah.
would not have a life.
I mean, that's what a spokesperson is for, and I keep saying that they need an official Twitter page and an official Instagram. And I don't care, how, so far it seems like they seem to be against it. And I don't understand because even when they had Royal Sussex, didn't they used to post statements and stuff on there as well? So I just don't
Yes.
understand why they don't have like an official page at this point. Because like I said, like anytime their spokesperson says anything, it's kind of like a small drop in the ocean of all of the tabloid media noise. By the way, just in, David Sherborne, who is Harry's lawyer, has arrived at an Invictus Games event. He literally, I'm looking at the footage now. He literally stormed out of the car, shut the door, and he stormed in. I mean, I don't know if he's going because he wants if he's watching Harry at this event or he had something to tell Harry. I don't know, but he's gone to the Invictus event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you so much, Fatimata. Really
Okay,
appreciate
thank you.
you. I'm gonna wrap things up. I'm sure Baron will be on if he's not already on, and you all can continue the conversation over there. And obviously tomorrow there will be a lot more like detailed analysis. I think everybody would have had time to kind of digest the information, and we can, I think, look at this with a fresher pair of eyes tomorrow. And more information likely would have come in. I don't know. Maybe Harry and his people will appeal. Maybe the reason David Sherborne is storming out that car and has driven to the Invictus event is because something else has come up. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, Harry's still in town for a few more days. I don't even know what the situation with Meghan and the kids are. Does anybody know? Are Meghan and the kids even in the UK? I mean, we knew that they're definitely not going to come to London, but have they gone anywhere else? I don't even know what's up with that. Anyway, as long as they're safe, I don't even care where they are, as long as they're safe. All right, we'll catch up tomorrow, folks. Very late for me now, so yeah, I need to go to bed. Ciao.